Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be making some pepper steak. I love this recipe because it's nice night recipe. You can have it on Sunday, any day of the week really, but it's nice, it's quick. I'm going to show you how to do it. So what I've got here is half of a small onion. This here is half of red pepper, green pepper, yellow pepper, and just a little bit of tomato. Not too much because tomato has some acid in it and it can make your dish like very tangy. So I don't usually use too much of it. I have about 2 pounds of chuck steak here. They came in round medallions and I just cut them all in half. You can also use those strips of beef that they sell in the supermarket, and that'll work well for this recipe as well. Over here, I got adobo, onion powder, garlic powder, allspice, meat seasoning, jerk seasoning, and Old Bay. And I can't forget a little bit of black pepper as well. So the first thing we're going to do is just sprinkle some Old Bay. We're not going to use too much. I love Old Bay because it's so versatile. You can use Old Bay on like chicken, seafood, salads, meats. I love Old Bay. We're going to put a little bit of jerk seasoning just so you can get that little bit of heat to it. Next up, our meat seasoning. I'm just going to sprinkle about a teaspoon on that as well. We're going to sprinkle some black pepper. We got our garlic powder next. Onion powder. And of course, our adobo. So now I'm just going to massage all the seasonings in, and then we'll go over to the stove and we'll start to cook this. Now this may seem like a lot of seasoning, but we are going to be diluting this with water. So you really got to make sure your meat is well seasoned. So I have my pot here, nice and warmed up. I got this Dutch pot from Jamaica, and this is the first time I'm using it. Can you tell I am so hype? So what we're going to do now is pour some oil. All right, there you go. That's about a 1/4 cup of oil, and we're going to let that heat up. First thing we're going to do is fry our steak. Here it is, and here's our pot. Can't wait. So while we let that heat up, I'm just going to show you my Dutch pot. I'm so proud of it. I got it when I went to Jamaica 2 months ago, and this is the first time that I'm actually using it. So I am so hyped. I got some mashed potatoes brewing on the stove here. These are garlic mashed potatoes that I'm going to make. There's a recipe for this on my YouTube channel, so make sure you just swipe through my YouTube channel for this recipe. I got some boiled corn setting up here. I haven't turned the fire on yet, but I got that all lined up. And today is Sunday, so I'm having some barbecue chicken as well. That just started cooking. So now that I finished talking you guys to death, we are going to fry our meat first. Here we go. So we're putting it in here. We're going to fry this really good. Just make sure there's enough space for it to fry on both sides. Remember, we're frying every single thing except our onions and peppers. Our onions and peppers are off to the side. They're going to be chilling until this is ready. Okie dokie. So all this is going to do right now is fry. We're going to fry it hard, and then we're going to stew it down with onions and peppers. Smells amazing. So what I'm doing now is just flipping them over. Just flipping them. Just so we get an even browning on both sides. So I've taken out our steak. Make sure you use a separate container to put your steak in because we don't want to have cross-contamination. So this is not the same container we used earlier. So anyways, here we have our pot. When I took this steak out, I did remove some of the oil and I scraped off any excess black marks or char marks is what you'd call it, just so that they don't look unpleasant when we make our gravy. So I have our onions and peppers and tomato lined up here. This is our oil, and what I'm going to do now is place the onions, the peppers, the steak, a little bit of water, make a gravy, cover it, cook it. So we have this sauteing here, and now I'm just going to add our steak back in. Now we're going to add some water. That was 2 cups of water. That's just a squirt of ketchup. The ketchup just is really a base for our gravy. I like to put ketchup in there whenever I make a gravy with beef. Now what we're going to do is cover this and allow it to cook for 30 minutes. Now, since we've poured 2 cups of water in there, we may need to add a little bit of seasoning in there, not too much, because remember we heavily seasoned our beef. But what I like to do is taste as I go along. So what we're gonna do is cover this, allow it to cook. When it's cooked, we'll have a taste. We'll see if it needs any more seasoning, and then we'll add some more seasoning, and then it'll be good to go. So it's been about 20 minutes. Our pepper steak. Now let's give it a taste. I snuck and dropped a Scotch bonnet in there. That's totally optional because I know not everybody likes their food too spicy, but I do. So here we are. Just want to let you know how my dinner is coming along. I've got the garlic mashed potatoes here. I have some barbecue drumsticks. I got my green string beans or green beans, whatever you want to call it. And I got my rice and peas here. So this is almost ready. Let's taste it and see if we need to put a little bit more seasoning in it. So I took off a piece. I'm going to taste it and see what it's like. So as I predicted, we do need to add some more seasoning. I'm going to sprinkle some garlic powder. I am going to sprinkle some adobo. And I'm going to sprinkle some meat seasoning. And that'll be it. That should be enough. So we're going to cover this back up. Give it another 10 minutes.